Once upon a time, there was a little yellow car named Lennon. Everybody loved Lennon, and wherever Lennon went, people would sing, "Hello, Lennon, the lemon yellow car. Hello, Lennon, you're always driving far." Well, one time Lennon was driving down the road when he saw his friend Sally on the side of the road. Oh, she looked so sad. She looked like she was about to cry. Lennon stopped immediately and he said, "Why are you so sad, Sally?" "Oh, because I'm late for school, Lennon. Oh, I'm never going to get there on time." Lennon said, "Don't cry. Hop in my car and we can drive far. I bet we'll make it to your school in no time." Oh, Sally was so happy. She hopped inside Lennon, the lemon yellow car, and they drove all the way to her school. And she wasn't late anymore. She was early. Oh, she was so happy. She hopped out and she said, thank you so much, Lennon." And she gave him a big hug and a big kiss. And as Lennon drove away, Sally sang, "Thank you, Lennon, the lemon-colored car. Thank you, Lennon, you're always driving far." Well, Lennon didn't get very far at all because he saw his friend Billy. Oh, he was on the side of the road, and normally Billy was a very happy boy, but he looked like he was going to cry. Lennon stopped immediately. "Why are you so sad, Billy?" "Oh, because I lost my dog. Oh, I'm never going to find her." Lennon said, "Tell me more about your dog." "Well, she's big, she's black, her name is Ruby, and I love her very much." "Oh, don't cry," said Lennon. "Hop in my car and we can drive far. I bet we'll find Ruby in no time." Oh, Billy was so happy. He hopped inside Lennon, the lemon yellow car, and they started rolling down the road. And as they did so, they said, "Ruby, Ruby," and they honked Lennon's horn. Beep, 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 beep. "Ruby, Ruby," beep, 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 beep. All of a sudden, a beautiful black dog comes running around the corner, dashing their way.
Oh, it's also white.
"It's Ruby," said the little boy. "She must have heard your horn and our voices and knew we were close by." Ruby jumped inside Lennon, the lemon yellow car, and they drove all the way to the little boy's house. The car stopped in front of the little boy's big lemon tree, and the little boy got out and he said, thank you so much, Lennon." And he gave Lennon a big hug. And then Ruby jumped out and said, "Ruff, ruff, ruff," and gave Lennon a big slobbery kiss. "It was my pleasure," said Lennon. And as Lennon drove away, the little boy and Ruby sang, "Thank you, Lennon, the lemon yellow car. Ow! Thank you, Lennon, you're always driving far. Ow!" Well, Lennon didn't get very far at all because he saw something weird up ahead. Why, it was kind of big, and it was sort of hairy, and yep, it was definitely a little bit smelly. But one thing it was for sure, it was crying. Lennon drove up to it and he said, "Why are you crying, you big weird smelly thing?" Well, all of a sudden that big thing got up and you wouldn't believe who it was.
Big bad wolf.
That's right, it was the big bad wolf. He's big, he's bad, he's hairy. Ooh, and boy, does he ever smell bad. Well, he gets up and he says, "Hey, who are you calling smelly? You're the one that fell for my stinking plan. I wasn't sad. I was hungry. Say, you look like the biggest lemon I've ever seen. I'm gonna eat you." Lennon said, "Don't eat me. I'm not a lemon. I'm a car." "Well, that's exactly what a lemon would say. You belong in my tummy. Yum, 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 yum." Well, just like that, Lennon started to swirl like a tornado into the hungry wolf's mouth. Yum, 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 yum. And now he was a big lump in the wolf's tummy. What was he going to do? Well, just then, Billy and Sally were playing together nearby when they saw everything. Oh, they jumped into action. "We need to help," said Billy. "That's right," said Sally. "I know what we can do." Sally took her big bag and they went to Billy's house and they picked all of the lemons off of Billy's big lemon tree. Now they had a huge, big bag of lemons. But they didn't waste any time. They ran over to that big wolf. "Hey, you doing, Mr. Wolf?" "Hey yourself. Say, what's that you got there? Ooh, are those lemons? I want to eat those." "Well, not so fast. Look at your tummy." "What do you mean?" And they pointed to the big lump in the wolf's tummy. "It looks as though you need to get your tummy ironed. That's right, with my nimble fingers," said the little girl. "I can iron out your stomach in such a way you'll be able to eat all the lemons." "All the lemons? Well, that's a great idea. Let's do it." And the wolf got on his back. "Fire away." Well, the little girl went over to the big wolf and she saw the big lump in the wolf's tummy. And she popped him right in the tummy. Boom! Blah! All of a sudden, out popped Lennon, the lemon yellow car. "Hey, what are you doing with my lemon? I was still eating that." "That's not a lemon," said Sally. "That's a car," said the little boy. "Oh, man, why didn't you say so?" "I did," said Lennon, "but you didn't believe me." Well, before anything else could happen, the little boy was thinking very quickly. He said, "Hey, I got a great deal for you, Mr. Wolf. How's about we give you this big bag of lemons if you promise not to eat our friends anymore?" "Well, I don't know," said the cunning wolf. "What was that deal again?" "All right, first we give you this big bag of lemons." "Deal!" And the wolf takes the lemons and he runs off. And as he runs off, he says, "Ha ha ha! Thanks for the great meal, suckers!" And they all lived happily ever after.
Let's move on to the next one.
Once upon a time, there was a little blue truck named Lincoln. Oh, everybody loved Lincoln, the little blue truck, and wherever he went, people would sing, "Hello, Lincoln, the little blue truck. Hello, Lincoln, you always bring good luck." Well, one time Lincoln was rolling down the road when he saw that there was a farmer on the side of the road sitting on a tractor with smoke coming out of it. Oh, the farmer looked so sad. He looked like he was almost going to cry. Lennon drove up to him and he said, "Why are you so sad, Mr. Farmer?" "Oh, you wouldn't believe it," said the farmer. "I got this big shipment of corn that I just plowed from my field, and I want to bring it up to my big red barn. Oh, but my tractor broke down. Oh, what am I going to do?" All of a sudden, his dog started whining too. "We're so sad." But Lincoln was a very smart truck, and he thought for a moment, "I've got an idea. Why don't we put all of your corn in the back of my truck, and together we can drive it up to your big red barn." "Oh, you would do that for me?" said the farmer. Well, they packed all the corn inside the back of Lincoln, the little blue truck, and the farmer and the farmer's dog and Lincoln drove all the way up to the big red barn, and they delivered the corn. Oh, the farmer was so happy, and he sang, "Thank you, Lincoln, the little blue truck. Oh, thank you, Lincoln, you always bring good luck. Oh." Bye-bye. As Lincoln drove away, he didn't get very far at all. Further down the road, there was a baker, a beautiful lady baker, standing next to a delivery truck that had smoke coming out of it. Oh, Lincoln couldn't stand to see such a beautiful maiden in distress. He drove up to her and he said, "Why are you so sad, Mrs. Baker?" "Oh, you wouldn't believe it," said the baker. "I baked all of the cookies for the kids at the carnival. I baked all of the cookies for the kids at the carnival. But my delivery truck, it broke down. Oh, I'm never going to get there." She didn't want the kids to be disappointed, and neither did Lincoln. Oh, Lincoln needed to do something. "I know," said Lincoln. "Why don't we pack all of the cookies into the back of my truck, and together we can drive the cookies to the carnival." Oh, the baker was so delighted. What a big smile she had on her face. She very quickly transported all of the cookies into the back of Lincoln, the little blue truck, and together they drove to the carnival. As they drove, the sun started to go down, and as the sun went down, they started approaching a big light up ahead. In fact, it wasn't one light. It was a million lights, all different colors. It was the carnival. Oh, there was a Ferris wheel. There was a giant slide for the kids. There was the big swing. There was the there was the zipper. Ooh, that one looked a little bit freaky. There was a candy apple stand. There was a cotton candy stand, and all of a sudden, and there was bumper cars, and then all of a sudden, Lincoln sees the biggest cookie, the biggest chocolate chip cookie he's ever seen. "Holy moly, that's a big chocolate chip cookie," said Lincoln, and the baker giggled. "That's not a real chocolate chip cookie. That's a giant chocolate chip cookie sign. It's not really food, but it's so all the kids can see that we are the cookie stop. That's where all of the kids can come by and get one free cookie." "Wow, that sounds like it'd be really yummy," said Lincoln. "I'm so happy that we got the cookies here." They drove all the way to the giant cookie, and they unloaded all of the little real cookies, and they did it. Oh, the baker got out of Lincoln, the little blue truck, and she ran over. She gave him a big hug. Thank you so much." Oh, Lincoln was so happy to save the day, and all of the children cheered. Lincoln was just about to drive away when all of a sudden the baker ran up to him. "Here, Lincoln, this is for you." She gave Lincoln a big chocolate chip cookie. "Oh, thank you," said Lincoln. "This is for your help," said the baker. And as Lincoln drove away, she said, "Thank you, Lincoln, the little blue truck. Thank you, Lincoln, you always bring good luck." Oh, Lincoln loved helping, and now he was at the carnival eating his cookie. Just then, he saw one of his friends. Why, it was Lennon, the lemon yellow car. Lennon and Lincoln started to talk. "It's good to see you here," said Lincoln. "I know, it's good to see you too here," said Lennon. "But there's something you should know. Somebody is at the carnival, and they're not up to any good." Well, just as they were talking, walking through the fairground of the carnival, you wouldn't believe who it was. It was the big bad wolf. Oh, my goodness. Now, he's got cotton candy in one hand. He's got a candy apple in the other. And he's eating, and he's singing his song. I'm the big bad wolf. I'm the biggest biggie baddie. I'm the big bad. Woo! What's that? All of a sudden, straight in front of that big wolf was the biggest, most delicious looking cookie he had ever seen. Oh my goodness, I'm going to eat that. The wolf runs up to the cookie stop and he says to the baker, "I want one free cookie, please." Not so fast," said the baker. "Actually, these cookies are for the children. You're not a child." "Oh, please, 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 please." He certainly was acting like a child. Well, said the baker, I suppose we are all young at heart. Very well. Which cookie would you want? Well, the wolf did not have to think about this. He pointed straight up. I want that one. He pointed to the big cookie sign. Before she could say anything, the wolf jumps up there and takes a huge bite out of that big fake cookie. Yum, 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 yum. This tastes horrible. He jumps down. He says, that was false advertisement. Now I'm going to eat all of the cookies. Well, all of the cookies started to swirl like a tornado into the hungry wolf's mouth. Oh, what were they going to do? Just then, Lincoln, the little blue truck, was finished saying goodbye to Lennon, the lemon yellow car, and he turned around and he sees the wolf. This is exactly who Lennon warned him about. He was eating all of the cookies at the cookie stop. But what was he going to do about it? Then he got a great idea. He drove away as fast as he could, all the way back to the big red barn. Well, howdy there, Lincoln. What brings you back here at this hour? I need your help, Mr. Farmer. Please, can we load up the back of my truck with a lot of corn? Well, absolutely. Anything for a friend like you. Well, the farmer and the farmer's dog, they loaded a bunch of corn inside the back of Lincoln, the little blue truck, and together they drove all the way back to the carnival. Thankfully, the wolf had not eaten that many cookies so far. They unload all of the corn into a big pile, but the wolf hadn't noticed. Lincoln had to honk his horn. Beep, 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 beep. Hey, wolf. Beep, 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 beep. Hey, Mr. Wolf. And now he starts honking as fast and as hard as he can. Beep, 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 beep. Huh? What was that? The wolf looks up and he sees a huge pile of corn. Oh my goodness, I love corn. He drops the cookie and he runs over to the corn. He starts eating it like crazy. He eats all of the corn until his tummy is huge and he can barely move. Oh, ew, what's happening to me? Well, that corn was so delicious, but it was so filling. That hungry wolf could hardly eat another bite. In fact, he was getting sleepy. Well, he calls over to the cookie stop. He says, well, I'll get you next year, cookie stop. But I'm going to go home and have a nap. Thanks for the great meal, suckers. And he waddles off with his big tummy. Well, they did it. They saved the day. There was still loads of cookies left for all of the kids. You did it, said the baker. I couldn't have done it alone, said Lincoln. Not without my friend, the farmer. All of a sudden, the baker looks at the farmer. He's the most handsome, rugged man she's ever seen in her whole life. Why, thank you, said the baker. I owe you everything. The farmer said, oh, shucks, little lady. You're the prettiest darn girl I've ever seen in my whole life. It was an honor to help you. Well, all of a sudden, the baker gives the farmer a big hug, and they fall in love, and they get married, and they live happily ever after. The end. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs. The first little piggy said, I love cotton candy. In fact, I like cotton candy so much, I'm going to make a cotton candy castle. Yum! The second little piggy said, oh, but I like all kinds of candy. I know, I'll make a gingerbread castle, decorated with every kind of candy I can find. Yum, yum. Now the third little piggy was listening very carefully, and after a great deal of time, he finally spoke. Well, guys, I like candy. Sure, who doesn't? But do you know what I really like? What I absolutely love?
Vegetables.
Yes, vegetables. garlic, onions, celery, potatoes, tomatoes, plums, bloppies. What? Broccoli. Banana bread. What? Banana bread? And bananas. That's right. Yes. Well, I'm going to make a beautiful vegetable castle decorated with every kind of candy I can find. Yum, yum, yum. Well, that sounds great, right? But you wouldn't believe who was walking by after they built those beautiful houses. Oh, have you heard of the big bad wolf? This guy's big. He's bigger than big. He's huge.
He's big. He's bad. He's a wolf.
That's right. He's big. He's bad. He's a wolf. Well, he's walking by and he's singing his song. I'm the big bad wolf. I'm the biggest biggie baddie. I'm the big bad wolf. Ooh, I smell something. He follows his nose all the way to the beautiful cotton candy castle, and it looks so delicious. Ooh, he can't help himself. He runs up to the cotton candy castle, and he rings the cotton candy doorbell. And then he says in his sweetest voice, little pig, let me in, which was not very sweet. Well, the piggy says, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Well, that may sound innocent to you and me, but let me tell you, wolves hate it when you say that to them. The wolf gets angry and he says in a huff, well, then I'll crunch. And I'll munch, and I'll swallow your household. And just like that, that cotton candy castle started to swirl like a tornado into the hungry wolf's mouth. Until just the little piggy was left there shivering. Well, he didn't stay there for long. Before the wolf could eat him, he got up and he hightailed it all the way to his brother's house, who lives in the gingerbread house. The wolf, who had just eaten a castle, was falling behind a little bit. The piggy runs in there. The drawbridge goes up, and then the wolf, he shows up just a second too late, and he pounds on the gingerbread door, and he says in his nicest voice, little pigs, not let me in, which was not very nice.
Not let me in.
No, let me in. Well, little pigs, let me in. Not by the hair of our chinny chin chins. Well, then I'll crunch, and I'll munch, and I'll swallow your household. Well, just like that, all of the candy that decorated the gingerbread house started to swirl off like a tornado into the hungry wolf's mouth. Then the gingerbread walls. Then the gingerbread roof. Until just the little piggies were left shivering. Well, they hightailed it to their brother's house, who lives in the vegetable castle. And the wolf, he was just a second too late. They get across the carrot drawbridge, over the ranch dressing moat. The drawbridge goes up. The wolf shows up, and he can't even get to the castle. He gets to the edge of the moat, and he shakes his fist in the air, and he says in his most diplomatic voice, mind you, little pigs, let me in. And the little piggies all together say, not by the hair of our chinny chin chin. Well, then I'll crunch, and I'll munch, and I'll swallow your household. Oh, these are good potatoes. I like these tomatoes. These are good celery. This is good broccoli. What's happening to me? Well, maybe it's because he had already eaten 2 castles. Or maybe it's because those vegetables were so delicious, but so filling. Why, that hungry wolf could hardly eat another bite. In fact, he was getting sleepy. Well, he calls up to those piggies one last time. He says, I'll get you next time, piggies, but I'm going to go home and have a nap. Thanks for the great meal, suckers. And he runs off. And they all lived happily ever after. The end.
All right. Well, the next one.
Once upon a time, there were 3 bears. A daddy bear, hi. A mommy bear, hello. And a baby bear, hey. Well, they were very hungry, so mommy bear decides she's going to make up a whole bunch of French fries and a little bit of bacon. But there was a problem. It was all too hot. Oh, what were they going to do? Well, Daddy Bear had a great idea. I've got a great idea. Let's go for a walk. We can leave the window open. I bet our French fries will be cool in no time. So that's exactly what they did. They left the house and they left that window open. But you wouldn't believe who was walking by.
The big bad wolf.
That's right, it was the big bad wolf. I'm the big bad wolf. I'm the biggest biggie baddie. I'm the big bad wolf. Hey, what's that I smell? Is that bacon? Maybe French fries? He follows his nose to that open window, and there, behold, through the window were 3 huge plates of French fries. Oh, they look so good. He couldn't help himself. He jumps through the window, and he runs over to the biggest plate of French fries, Daddy Bear's French fries. He lifts a French fry up with his finger, and he burns his finger. Ouch! Too hot! Then he goes over to Mommy Bear's plate of French fries. He lifts the French fry up with his finger, and it's ice cold. Brr! Too cold. Well, at least it made his finger feel better. But then he goes over to the smallest plate of French fries, Baby Bear's plate of French fries, and he tries one of those fries, and boy golly, it wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. Why, it was just right. He couldn't help himself. Maybe just one little French fry. Nom, 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 nom. He ate all of the French fries. And then he looked over at that big plate of bacon. Maybe just one strip of bacon. Nom, 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 nom. He eats all the strips of bacon, and he gets bacon grease all over his face. Now he smells like bacon. And now he's starting to get sleepy. Well, he goes over to the next room, and he sees 3 big beds. He goes over to the biggest bed, Daddy Bear's bed. He hops up on there, and it's like a bed of nails. Ouch! Too hard. Then he goes over to Mommy Bear's bed. He hops up on there and he starts sinking into the mattress. Help, I'm drowning. Too soft. And then he goes over to Baby Bear's bed, and boy golly, it wasn't too hard. It wasn't too soft. Why, it was just right. In fact, he started getting extra sleepy and he started falling asleep. Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. Just then, those 3 bears came home. Daddy Bear takes one look at his plate of French fries. It's all messed up. Hey, somebody was eating my French fries. Then Mommy Bear looks at her French fry plate and she gasps, somebody was eating my French fries too. And then Baby Bear looks at his French fry plate and he starts to cry. Oh, somebody was eating my French fries, and they ate all of them, and they ate all the bacon. Well, they go over to the next room, and Daddy Bear, he takes one look at his bed. It's all messed up. Hey, somebody was sleeping in my bed. Mommy Bear says, somebody was sleeping in my bed too. And then Baby Bear looks at his bed and he starts to cry. Oh, somebody was sleeping in my bed. And they're still sleeping in my bed. And they smell like bacon. Well, they look over and they see that that sleeping wolf still snoring away. Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. Well, Daddy Bear, he sneaks over to that wolf who's still sleeping away, and he goes, rah, 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 rah. The wolf wakes up. Whoa, what's happening to me? He looks up and he sees 3 hungry bears looking at him like he's a big strip of bacon. I'm getting out of here. He jumps out of the bed, out of the room, down the hall, through the kitchen, and out the window. And as he runs away, he says, "Ha ha ha, thanks for the great meal, suckers!" And they all lived happily ever after. The end. Once upon a time, there was a big bad wolf. Now, a lot of people don't know this about the big bad wolf, but he lives in a tree. And everything in his house is made of wood. He has a wooden stove, a wooden TV. He has wooden chairs, a wooden bed. He even has a wooden potty. And whenever he got hungry, he would open up his wooden fridge. And now and then he wouldn't see any food, so he'd have to leave his house. And he'd have to search for food. And as he did so, he would sing his song. I'm the big bad wolf. I'm the biggest biggie baddie. I'm the big bad. Ooh, what's that I smell? He follows his wolf nose all the way to a beautiful cotton candy castle. Oh, it looks so darn good. He simply can't help himself. Maybe just one little bite. Yum, 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 yum. He ate the entire candy castle, but he was still hungry. So he continues through the forest and he looks for food. I'm the big bad wolf. I'm the biggest biggie baddie. I'm the big bad. Ooh, I smell vegetables. He follows his nose all the way to a beautiful vegetable castle, and boy golly, it looks so good. Maybe just one little vegetable. Yum, 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 yum. He eats every vegetable, but he was still just a little bit hungry. I'm the big bad wolf. I'm the biggest biggie baddie. I'm the big bad. Ooh, I smell gingerbread. The wolf turns around and he sees what can best be described as the most delicious looking gingerbread cookie he's ever seen. Hoo-hoo, maybe just one little taste. Yum, 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 yum. Stop. Don't eat me. I'm not a regular cookie. I'm the gingerbread man. Aw, man, why'd you have to go and say something? I can't eat you now. Oh, please, Mr. Wolf, I need your help. I need to get across that great river. What, you mean that pond over there? Well, it may as well be a river to me. I'm a little cookie. If I step one foot in there, I'll get all soggy and I'll fall apart. Well, we wouldn't want that. Please, Mr. Wolf, please, 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 please. Fine. Hop on my back, but don't tell anybody about this. Can't have anybody thinking I'm doing good deeds for people. Okay. So, the gingerbread man gets on the back of the big bad wolf, and that big wolf takes a big running leap over that tiny little puddle. Hi-ya! And he lands at the other end without getting so much as a drop of water on him. Yay! You did it! You're my hero! I quit it with that hero junk. Remember, don't tell anybody. But then all of a sudden, he smells something. What's that I smell? It smells like egg. He turns around and he sees what can best be described as the most delicious looking egg he's ever seen. Oh, it's so big. Maybe just one little lick. Yum, 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 yum. Stop. Don't eat me. I'm not a regular egg. My name is Humpty Dumpty. Aw, man, what's with all this talking food? Please, Mr. Wolf, I need your help. I'm looking for my friend. But just then, Humpty Dumpty looked past the big bad wolf and saw the gingerbread man, and his eyes lit up. Gingy? Humpty! Gingy, I've been looking everywhere for you. I've been stuck behind this great river, but this wonderful wolf helped me. Oh, Mr. Wolf, we are forever in your debt. Seriously, told you not to tell anybody. If you ever need help, remember, it's always okay to call out for help. Guys, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. I'm the big bad wolf, emphasis on the big. I think I'm gonna be okay. Remember, it's always okay to call out for help. All right, whatever. See you later, suckers. And the wolf runs off. But he didn't get very far. I'm the big bad wolf. I'm the biggest biggie baddie. I'm the big bad. Ooh, what's that? He looks over and he sees there are 3 big bushes. And sticking out of the middle bush was a gummy worm. Ooh, I love gummy worms. Oh, I love them so much. The wolf runs over and he takes a big bite out of that gummy worm. Uh-oh! All of a sudden, he realizes he is not eating a gummy worm. He is chewing on the tail of a gigantic gummy snake. A very angry gummy snake that now attacks him and starts curling his way around his feet so he can't move. Ah, my feet! And then his knees, my knees! And then all of his legs, my legs! And his waist, my waist! And it's just curling up and up and up. And now all of a sudden, it's up to his neck. Oh man, what am I going to do? And then he remembers what Humpty Dumpty said. It's always okay to call out for help. Oh man, I sure could use some help right now. Help! Help! But nobody came. Help! Help! Still nobody came. And now that snake was coiling itself around his face. Just then, Humpty Dumpty and the gingerbread man were playing together nearby. Hold on, do you hear something? It sounds like somebody might be calling out for help. They followed the sounds of the muffled cries for help, and there they saw in the clearing that big gummy snake coiling itself around that big wolf. Oh, they had to do something. I've got a good idea. Why don't you go behind that bush over there and pretend to be a tiger, and I'll go behind that bush and pretend to be an elephant. Maybe we can scare that big snake away. That's a good idea, Gingy. Humpty Dumpty snuck behind one of the bushes, and he made the sound of a tiger. Roar! Roar! Well, that big snake looked up. That big snake looked scared, but that big snake did not let go of the big bad wolf. But now it was Gingy's turn. The gingerbread man snuck behind the other bush, and he made the sound of a mighty elephant. Well, that big snake looked up. That big snake looked scared. That big snake did not want to get scratched by a ferocious tiger, or worse, stepped on by a gigantic elephant. Why, it uncoiled around that big wolf, and it slithered away as fast as it could. Oh man, I thought I was a goner. He looked up, and he saw his friends, the gingerbread man and Humpty Dumpty. Humpty, Gingy, you guys saved me. Of course, we're just so happy that you called out for help. Oh, guys, you were the very best. How can I ever repay you? I know. I should have you guys over to my house for dinner. Ooh, that sounds good. What are we having? Oh, it's a secret. Well, later on that evening, Humpty Dumpty and the gingerbread man were wearing cute little tuxedos, ready for their big night out, and they followed the instructions to a giant tree with a door on the front. They knocked on the door, and the big bad wolf answered, wearing a pink frilly apron. Humpty, Gingy, you guys made it. Of course, we wouldn't miss it for the world. What are we having for dinner? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. We're having bacon and cake.
And bacon bits.
And bacon bits.
And cheese.
And cheese and cupcakes and eggs.
And
oh, no, not eggs. Thank you.
And gingerbread.
And gingerbread. No, not gingerbread. oh, thank goodness.
Pie.
And lots of pie. And
and Coke
and Coke,
and
bottles of Coke,
and Dr. Pepper
and Dr. Pepper,
and cherry Coke
and Cherry Coke. Well, they had a magnificent
and
feast.
corn
And corn,
and and loads of vegetables.
and loads of vegetables. And so they had a beautiful meal. They loved it. Oh, they ate and ate and ate. And that was the day that the big bad wolf decided that he didn't want to be bad anymore. The end.